welcome back to the YouTube channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this afternoon is my round 14 NRL tips for this week. Look, mostly a full round of footy back this week before we go into another round where it's Origin affected next week. But should be a decent round of footy, hopefully. Does kick off on Thursday night with my boys Manly up against the Knights in Newcastle. So, yeah, first time Manly are playing at Newcastle's home ground since 2023. It's also my first time going to Newcastle and the stadium as well on Thursday. So I'll be there. Another stadium that has now been ticked off. So just, McDonald Jones Stadium and Amy Park's the last stadium I need to go to, which I will be going to later in the year. But, yeah, bring it on. But, a few big storylines this week, actually. Yeah, because on Sunday, Panthers and Tigers at CommBank, like, it's literally Sunil Taruva and Jerome Luai versus Cleary and the Panthers. Like, that's a big storyline right there. And on Monday, the King's birthday now it is, Lachlan Gowden could play. He's named in the reserves for now, but he could play, maybe. We'll see what happens. But if he was playing, he'd be playing against the club he was actually going to go to, the Eels. So, yeah, it's funny how the whole thing works out in the end, doesn't it, with those sort of things. But anyway, see how the round goes. Hopefully it's a good one. And as always, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and help my goal of 5,400 subscribers happen. Only about 14 subs away, so not far at all. So if you are new watching right now, your support's appreciated. So please subscribe if you haven't already. But here we go, round 14 tips. Yep, so Thursday night, Knights versus Manly at McDonald Jones Stadium. Look, it's going to be cold there, obviously. So I'll do my very best to stay warm. So it might be tough, but yeah, going to have to stay warm somehow, I guess. But keen to go to Newcastle for the first time. So a bit of change for both sides. The Knights obviously lost to the Dragons last week in Cogra, and Manly beat the Broncos 34-6 in a good win to bounce back from the week before. But for the Knights, Cameron Ponga is back at fullback for Newcastle, which is a big win for them. Fletcher Sharp goes to 5'8", and Jack Cogger is the halfback. Brodie Jones starts in the front row with Leo Thompson out for 4 weeks with a crusher tackle ban. On debut, Elijah Salesa Leo Moana, I hope I said that correctly, will make his NRL debut off the bench on Thursday, and Greg Marzhew is closing in on a return from a knee injury and is part of the extended squad. Okay, for Manly, Jake Trbojevic is back, but he's back at lock, which I don't like. I think Jake's the perfect prop today. He can't be as the 13 anymore. I don't think that's the role that suits him right now. Jazz Tavanga has been playing excellent at 13. His ball playing is really unlocked some of our outside backs, I think. And why make drastic changes like that to a winning side that won last week? I don't get it. Like, Jake offers nothing compared to what Jazz does at 13 now. So the change makes no sense, to be honest. I would have been very happy with Jake at prop. And Toff Sipley is actually starting a prop as well. Now, I know Toff had a big game in reserve grade last week. He got over 200 metres, I think. But, I don't know. Toff hasn't done enough for me to say he should be the starting prop this week. It should be Jake starting prop and Tavanga starting 13, where things have been going great for him at that role already. So, see how it goes. Hopefully, we just get the win anyway. Ololia's out and Matt Lodge has been dropped in place of Sipley. Okay. Righto, I'll back Manly to win, obviously. Always going to back my team, but it's one of those games where it's a danger game, I feel like. Like, Newcastle, Newcastle often beat us at Newcastle, actually. The last time we actually won in Newcastle, I believe, was 2022, but our record in Newcastle has not been great as of recent, I don't believe. So, so we've got to really win, I guess. And the thing is, though, Manly can be so consistent one week and then next week inconsistent. So I'm praying for some consistency this week. So if we lose, I'm not going to be shocked. Again, I'm not going to be shocked if we lose. I know I keep saying it every single week, but I'm saying it because I'm not sure we'll be consistent or not. That's the issue, right? So I'll back us as always, but yeah, we'll see how we go. First try scorer, give me Clayton Falalo. Played great last week. Anytime try scorers, going to go with Hamali Olakawatu, and for the Knights, I'll go with Fletcher Sharp for a try. So, come on, Manly to win. All right, on Friday, the first game of 2, it is the Storm versus the Cowboys at Amy Park in Melbourne. So, It's actually Cowboys' first time playing in Melbourne since 2019, and I actually do remember that game quite well. So, yeah, the Cowboys haven't been to Melbourne very often, but yeah, it's their first time since then. They're playing there on Friday. Melbourne obviously beat the Gold Coast Titans last week, not in a very convincing way, I feel like. And the Cowboys weren't too convincing either. They were for most part of the game, but then the Tigers came back and really snatched it off them from 32-6 down, which I just couldn't believe. So, yeah, we'll see what side comes out on top on Friday. And yeah, I can see this game being a good one, actually, hopefully. Looking at the Storm team, Xavier Coates and Harry Grant return after being rested round 13. Trent Liero will start after coming off the bench last week. Bronson Garlick goes to the bench after playing hooker last week, and Sua Falongo goes to reserves. Joe Chen also makes way. Alec McDonald is listed among the reserves as he closes on returning from a quad injury. And for the Cowboys, Todd Payton has named the same 17 that won last week. So, and yeah, Talangi and Tamalolo still out for the Cowboys. Well, look, Melbourne's home record this year's been really strong. I don't think they've lost at home all year, actually. Not that I know of, anyway. So yeah, look, Melbourne are obviously playing great footy. Not the same footy we know Melbourne can play week in, week out. Been a bit inconsistent, I feel like, but they are winning games, and they love playing at Melbourne. So, and Cowboys nearly blew a big lead to the Tigers last week. So I don't know if they can compete with Melbourne this week. They could. I mean, Cowboys are that sort of side that can pull off upsets like against Melbourne, but I think Cowboys will fall short on Friday. I've got the Storm to win 1-12. First try scorer. We might go Cowboys to score first, actually. I think Viliami Vailea might crack the first try. It's got a weird feeling. And anytime try scorers, Xavier Coates. And for the Cowboys, let's go with Tom Dearden. But yeah, I think Cowboys fall short, but it should be a close game though. Storm to win. Now the main game on Friday, Dolphins versus Dragons at Suncorp Stadium. Feels like the Dragons have been to Suncorp a fair few times as of recent. Magic Round went there to play the Tigers. Went there about 2 weeks ago to play the Broncos. Now they're back in Suncorp again. Like, literally, they're playing at Suncorp quite a bit recently, the Dragons. But yeah, these two sides are very similar. Dolphins can win some great games, and so can Dragons, but can both lose some pretty easy games as well. So they're very, even sides. I feel like both Finns and the Dragons, but we'll see what side comes out on top on Friday. So looking at Dolphins team, Hamiso Tabuai Fido remains at fullback after missing the game against the Bulldogs the week before. Avarillo goes to the centres. Max Feagai goes to reserves. Marshall King is back, and Max Playfer also back, but listed among the reserves, and might be a late inclusion maybe. Looking at the Dragons team, Luciano Leilua comes into the starting side with Jane Sua sidelined with an ankle injury. Fatala Mariner joins the bench, and Christian Tuivotu is good to go, returning from a hamstring injury that ruled him out late last week. And Tyrell Sloan drops to the reserves. So that means last week's debutant Nathan Lawson keeps his spot in the team, and I feel like that's a good decision by the Dragons. So, yeah, we'll see how he goes yet again. But one tip for this game, I don't know, it's a tough one. The week before, Dolphins were very impressive against the Bulldogs, I thought, even though Dogs had a lot of players out. Dragons, on the other hand, were not too bad against the Knights either. But then again, it's only Newcastle. I'll go Dolphins because of the home advantage, and I feel like Dolphins have a bit more weapons compared to the Dragons, but Dragons win, I wouldn't be shocked at all. Like, they can definitely win the game, like, without doubt, but it's one of those games where it can just go either way. So I'll go Dolphins 1-12. First try scorer, give me Jamal Sarko, and anytime try scorers, we're going to go with Herbie Farnworth, and for the Dragons, going to back in starting back row, Luciano Leilua for a try. Opening up Super Saturday, it is the Sharks versus the Warriors at Shark Park. Both these sides have been quite good this season. Like, the Sharks have been very good in terms of their attack and the way they just go about business. There was a patch where I thought the Sharks were not looking good at all. Then they beat Melbourne. Then they just got some dominant wins over Manly. And then, yeah, I really thought Sharks turned a corner for themselves. And, fresh off the bye back at Shark Park, it suits them perfectly, doesn't it? And as for the Warriors, the Warriors' defense has been the main part of the reason why they've been winning games. I mean, last weekend they conceded 30, but they still got the job done somehow. But the big blow for the Wires is that Mitch Barnett's out for the rest of the year due to an ACL injury. So that's a big blow for the Warriors and a big blow for the Blues as well. So does not help at all for the Blues. But yeah, hopefully Mitch Barnett gets well soon, because an ACL injury is obviously the worst injury you can sustain in the NRL, I think. So yeah, not good at all. But looking at both sides, for the Sharks, Ronaldo Mulatalo is out due to suspension. So that means Sione Katoa's back for the Sharks this weekend on the wing. First game of the year after shoulder reconstruction. Teague Wilton is also back from a shoulder injury he suffered in round 7, so Billy Burns goes to 18th man. And for the Warriors, Jackson Ford will start prop, and with Mitch Barnett out for the rest of the year. Lake Halasima has been promoted to the starting side in the back row, with Kurt Capewell going to the centres, replacing the injured Rocco Berry. And Jacob Laban and Tanner Stowers-Smith are the new faces on the bench. Should be a close game. I know Barnett's a big blow, but the Warriors will definitely be competitive still, I think. But I think at home, Sharks are fresh off the bye. They must win. Sharks have been very good recently, and I think they should get the job done on Saturday evening. So I'll go the Sharks to win 1-12. First try scorer, give me Kale Ero. And anytime try scorers, let's go with the returning Sione Katoa. And for the Warriors, I'll go with Adam Pompey to score anytime. All right, last game of Saturday, it is the Broncos versus the Titans at Suncorp Stadium, 7:35 p.m. kickoff. Both these sides are very similar. I feel like both in desperate stages of getting wins. The Broncos on the back of 4 straight losses, not looking too great themselves, so they need to get some wins very soon. As for the Gold Coast, likewise, losing games, and the coach is now under immense pressure. So, yeah, I think the win for both these sides is very, very important come Saturday night. So we'll see how both these sides go. But looking at the Broncos team, Reece Walsh is back for the Broncos, first game since round 7 after recovering from a knee injury. So he goes to fullback, Simon Cobbo goes to the wing, and Dean Mariner drops out. Corey Jensen has been promoted to the starting prop position, with Pat Carrigan going back to his real position, lock. And Kobe Hetherington to the bench. Brendan Piakura has been named to start, with Xavier Willison going to the bench. And for the Titans, AJ Brimson has suffered a concussion at the captain's run before the game against the Storm last week, but has been listed as 18th man. Alan Fitzgibbon has been recalled on the wing this week, with Philip Salmon going to the centres, and Jojo Fafita going... he's ruled out for Fafita, sorry. Jojo Fafita's out with a broken hand. Same with Sam Verrills, both got broken hands. Jeez, well, they're both punching brick walls during the week. Far out. That means, though, with Verrills out, Sean Mullany goes to hooker, and the new face on the bench is Arama Howe. Okay, who comes in for Isaac Fa'asuamaleaui? Okay, my tip for this game, yeah, tough one actually, because I'm not too sure who's going to win, because both these sides are just so similar right now. But I don't know, honestly. Where's a gold coin? I don't go heads or tails at this point. All right, I'm going to go Gold Coast actually to win. I think Gold Coast can genuinely win this game. I think Gold Coast effort's been really strong as of recent, but even though they've been losing, they were actually not too bad against the Storm. So, and with the Broncos, Walsh, fullback, and Carrigan at lock is a lot better, obviously, but I don't trust Brisbane. Let's be real. I don't trust them at the moment. Their squad's so good right now, but they're still losing games. I don't trust them. So I'll go Titans to win 1-12. First try scorer, give me Cam Pereira, and anytime try scorers for both sides. Let's go with Jesse Arthurs for the Broncos, and for the Titans, I'll go with both for more for a try. Righto, 2 p.m. on Sunday. It is a very cold GIO stadium where this game will be held at. Raiders versus Rabbitohs in Canberra. Canberra have been very impressive recently. Beat Roosters last week in a very tight game, 26-24 at Allianz. No Jamal Fogarty, who got ruled out late in that game as well due to a groin injury. So his replacement, Ethan Sanders, a very inexperienced 7. They still got the job done somehow. And Canberra continue to impress in season 2025. So good on them, playing well, actually. And as for South Sydney, man, so close. South Sydney were actually really good against the Warriors. I thought their effort was all there, despite who's actually out for the team right now. But Just their defense maybe cost them in the end. But yeah, look, unlucky to win, but they came very close. But let's see how both these sides go this week. So looking at both sides for the Raiders, big one for Josh Papali'i. It's his 300th game. Sorry, 398th game for the Raiders, which means he's the most capped Raider of all time. So congrats to Big Papa. As for the other changes, Corey Horsburgh moves to lock and Walker Smithies is now on the bench. And Jamal Fogarty is back this week after missing the game against the Roosters. For the Rabbitohs, two begins for South Sydney. Jack Wyden is back in the centres for the Rabbitohs. And Cody Walker back from a calf injury. So Jack Wyden gets his former club. And Walker at 5'8". Isaiah Tass goes to the wing and Bailey Bentley Harpe out. Jane Sullivan goes to the bench and Jai Gray drops to the reserves. Liam LeBlanc joins the bench after filling the 18th man role last week. Okay, my tip for this one, going to go Canberra. I think South's effort can definitely be the game changer here. They can just, try and grind out a game longer. But I think Canberra, the way they're playing, you have to back them, right? They're playing so well right now, Canberra. Very impressive. Their forward pack is so underrated, and their outside backs are just doing a great job for them right now. So, yeah, Canberra to win. I'll go Canberra to win, 13 plus probably. First try scorer, give me Sebastian Chris. And anytime try scorers, let's go with Paddy Young. And for the Rabbitohs, I'm going to go with Jack Wyden. Now, the Sunir Taruva, the Jerome Luai, the Api Carousel, the Dane Laurie Cup this Sunday. It is and Terrell May. And even, I think, also bloody Matt Eisenhuth. Like, there's so many players that have gone from each club across the years. But, yeah, it's the West Tigers versus the Panthers at CommBank Stadium this Sunday. Should be an interesting game to see who comes out on top. But, yeah, CommBank Stadium. So these two sides will play at the same venue in a couple of weeks, but this time a Penrith home game, but this week's the Tigers home game. So there we go. Tigers very close to defeating the Cowboys last week, but just fell short. As for Penrith, got a nice gritty win over the Eels in the Battle of the West last Sunday. Look at both sides. For the West Tigers, Latu Fainu is back from a thumb injury, so he comes on the bench at jersey 14. First game since round 5-2. Jarrell Skelton is also back for the Tigers on the wing from a hamstring. And Alex Twal is out due to concussion. So that sees Alex Seyfarth go to lock. And Tony Sukar goes to the back row. Brent Naden and Charlie Staines have dropped to the reserves list. And youngster Kit Lauliti joins the bench for his first game of 2025. And Charlie Murray makes his NRL debut off the bench for the Tigers too. For the Panthers, they have no changes this week with their team 1 through 17. But with Isaiah Papali'i and Luke Garner both on the extended bench for the Panthers too, it could be a late inclusion. And then again, these two play for the Tigers too, so there you go. God, I don't know who to tip actually. I don't know. Really tough game, this one. Luai versus Cleary and Luai versus Toto for the first time. That's going to feel so weird. I'll go Penrith in a gritty game, but I wouldn't be shocked if Tigers won because I think Tigers can win this game. In my bold predictions series video at the start of the year, I actually said that the Tigers at one point this season will defeat Penrith. It could be this game, but I don't think yet though. I'll go Panthers to win 1-12. I'll go Penrith a scoreline of 24 points to 18 maybe. First try scorer, give me Brian Toto. And anytime try scorers for both sides. Go back in Sam Fainu anytime in the back row for Tigers. And for the Panthers, going to go with Mitch Kenny, bowl one dummy half to score. But Penrith in a very close game. And last game to round out round 14, it is the Bulldogs versus the Eels at a Core Stadium, 4 p.m. kickoff. Always a great traditional game, this one, the King's birthday game at a Core Stadium. It used to be Bulldogs and Dragons all the time, but now it's Parramatta replacing the Dragons. So, that's a change that's happened since 2023, I think, or 2022. Anyway, Dogs, obviously, Lost to the Dolphins the week before, had the bye last week, so they've got most of their main stars back this week, so they should be ready to go. As for the Eels, been quite impressive recently, Parramatta, I must admit, but lost to Penrith in a very close game, 18-10 last Sunday. Looking at both sides, for the Bulldogs, Lachlan Galvin has been named in the extended squad as jersey 23, as he could debut on Monday, but doesn't look likely just yet. Stephen Crichton is back, Max King's back, Kurt Mann's back, and Jacob Carraz is back from a calf injury. Daniel Saluka Fafita, concussion, is also back for the Bulldogs as well, big in there. And for the Eels, Will Punisini is back from concussion, so Jordan Samrani goes to the bench, and Josh Papali'i drops to 18th man. Kelman Salungi has been named to start in the back row, with Luca Moretti going to the bench. And yeah, that's about it for Parramatta. Also, a lot of former Bulldogs players playing for Parramatta, and a couple of former Eels playing for the Bulldogs, actually, I've noticed as well. So, funny world yet again. My tip for this game, going back to the Bulldogs, I think Dogs will be too strong. This game will be closer than expected. I think Parramatta will give the Bulldogs a real good game on Monday, but the way the Bulldogs are playing with mostly their full team, it's quite good to see how well they're going. So yeah, I think the Dogs will continue their winning ways on Monday. So I'll go the Bulldogs to win 1-12. First try scorer, give me Jacob Carraz back from injury, and anytime try scorers, gonna go with Matty Burden anytime, and for the Eels, gonna go with Kelman Tulangi to score anytime as well. But yeah, Dogs to win. But everyone, that was my round 14 tips for this weekend. Hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to again like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and help my goal of 5,400 subscribers happen very soon. But yeah, all the best to your teams this week, and yeah, bring on a round of footy. Go Manly.